So Pope Francis removes a popular bishop for criticizing them too much. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we're going to talk about Pope Francis removing a very popular bishop from Tyler, Texas by the name of Joseph Strickland after the bishop heavily criticized the Pope and the Catholic Church and a few more things. Now, as I said from the beginning, part of it could be that the bishop criticized the Pope heavily, but I think there's a lot more to it. And my question would be, what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Understand what's happening. The bishop is being forced into retirement very early. He is 65 years old, which is 10 years younger than a typical age a bishop retires. So he's retiring very early. He's being forced out by the Pope. Why? What's the big deal? And another question before we get to a video which details some of this. Another question is this typical? Is this a normal thing to happen for Pope Francis to remove a bishop or any pope to do this after criticism, say the wrong thing, you get removed? Now, I know some bishops have done some other things and they don't really get removed, they get reassigned. Well, that's a different story, and I digress. Before I go any further, let's go ahead and get into the news clip. I will place this clip in the description box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Tonight, we're following a developing story as Pope Francis has officially removed Bishop Joseph Strickland of the Diocese of Tyler from his administrative position. Our Ron Everett spent the day gathering reactions from people who have close ties to the bishop.
The removal is a surprise to me.
Ed Santos is the parishioner of the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception and has a close relationship with Bishop Joseph Strickland. Santos says he was taken aback by the Pope's decision this morning.
Even with his changes, the church will continue in its traditions. He remains a priest, he remains a bishop of the Diocese of Tyler until there's any more changes.
So how does that work? So he's still a priest and not the bishop. I got a part of my ignorance. I'm not a Catholic, so I'm not really understanding the way this works. So he's moved as bishop, but he's still a priest and he's still able to be active in the church. How does that really work? You guys who have knowledge about that, please inform me in the comments below.
Santos says Strickland helped build relationships and strengthen bonds with various communities within the faith and acknowledges his conservative beliefs.
It is his mission, I believe, from how I have seen him behave, to continue to rely on what we call the deposit of faith.
CBS 19 also spoke with Bishop Emeritus Edmond Carmody, a former bishop of the Diocese of Tyler, who is currently serving in Corpus Christi.
Well, I only knew him when he was a priest, and I never knew him as a bishop. I always knew him as a kind, thoughtful person. But that time, he's a priest, and I never knew him since he became a bishop 10 years ago.
Although they represent different parts of the state, Carmody has this message to share with you.
And let's pause for a minute. One thing about the bishop is that he had very conservative views. And you would think that the church and conservative views would go hand in hand, but maybe not so much. Maybe his views were a little bit of a different brand of conservatism than the church wanted. We're going to get into that because there's another clip after this we're going to check out to see some more details as to why he may have been removed as bishop here.
Right now, of course, the decision is made. So I would say, Joe, we're praying for you.
We also asked Carmody about what words he has to share with the people he used to represent in Tyler.
We would say what the Lord Jesus said, love one another.
In Tyler, I'm Ron Everett, CBS 19.
Thank you for that report, Ron. Officials from the Catholic faith have also been speaking out about Pope Francis's ruling. As of now, the Diocese of Austin has been appointed to watch over East Texas. In a statement from their office, they reference the visit from officials that occurred earlier this summer and say, quote, resulting from that visit, the recommendation was made to the Holy Father that the continuation in office of Bishop Strickland was not feasible. And, quote, Pope Francis has appointed Bishop Vasquez as the apostolic administrator overseeing the daily life of a diocese that is temporarily without a bishop. And here locally, a statement was also released to Catholic media by Father Timothy Kelly of Holy Spirit Catholic Church, who is under the Diocese of Tyler, saying, quote, priests who disagree with the bishop were intimidated by his supporters.
Let's pause right here. This is a very kind of loaded thing because I may or may not have mentioned it, but the bishop was very popular on social media. He had a really big following, or has a really big following. Last I checked on Twitter, he had like 150,000 subscribers or followers on Twitter. So this guy is very popular outside of just Tyler, Texas. He's very popular worldwide. So people are trying to say that his online trolls, I suppose, are trying to intimidate people that live in a particular area or trying to intimidate the priests. So maybe that's an allegation that's being made here. I think that's most likely correct. Let's keep on going.
I can personally attest to such phone calls from prominent friends of the bishop. If you wish to learn more on the details of Strickland's removal, then check out our digital coverage on our website.
So that's that. Now we have another bit of information, bit of footage here. Okay, I think this is Reuters or Forbes. And this is going to be mostly just text, so we're going to be able to read it. You see the headline here, Pope Francis outs conservative Texas bishop after frequent attacks. Okay, maybe don't want to let me go full screen. We can just zoom in, that's fine. And let's keep on going. It says, Pope Francis dismissed Bishop Strickland. Okay, let's skip ahead here. Strickland had been asked to resign as a typical course of action when the church wants to oust and replace a bishop, but he refused, leading the Pope to remove him forcibly, they said in the statement. So it was like I said, it was a forced early retirement. Strickland is 65 and the typical age of a retired bishop when they retire is 75, so much earlier. The Vatican said his dismissal came after an investigation into all aspects of the governance and leadership of the diocese. No official reason has been provided for his dismissal at this time. Vatican appointed Bishop Joe Vasquez. We already saw that. Now let's continue. And then here is a video of the Pope pretty much falling asleep right there. Look at this right here. Like this in the still picture. He was sleeping right there. That's what it appeared like. He was sleeping. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what's going on. So Strickland, a firebrand conservative, has been vocal about his opposition to Pope Francis. Okay, here's where we get into the core, I think, what's happening. Additional responsibility being given to lay people, non-priests, and a recent synod, the meeting of church leaders, he called. All right, so maybe that was the issue. No, just doing certain things that are not what the church normally wants. That's part of it. Strickland called that synod garbage. So we have some political stuff going on. Here's something else. He has written several public letters reiterating his beliefs that homosexuality is a sin. Because I think Pope Francis had tried to open up the church more to the LGBT, which is kind of ironic, and I won't go down that road, so I digress. Let's keep on going here. And that's going to be a problem. And also that women cannot be priests or serve in any priestly duties, and that the church is moving in the wrong direction. I mean, what is he saying that's wrong here? Why is what he's saying the thing that should get him ousted as a bishop? Including one in August in which he decried a letter that he wrote in August, in which he decried what he called an evil and false message that has invaded the church. And we all know that to be the case. We know about drag queen story time. That's happening a lot in these churches. Okay, you get these big 6'5" football playing, hairy chest looking dudes with wigs and makeup and dresses on and high heels, reading books to children. That's a problem. We know that's a problem. The embracing of the LGBT culture in church is a problem. Why is that a bad thing to say? What is the actual deal? Why would the Pope of everybody in the world embrace such things if he's embracing it? All right, let's keep on going here. Again, there's music here, so I'm not playing the music. It's just kind of like a slideshow. Strickland had frequently waded into politics. In December 2020, he spoke at a rally in Washington, D.C. So we got Trump hats going on. That might be a big It might be the straw brought the camel's back. Trying to be a Trump supporter, organized by then President Donald Trump supporters seeking to overturn the election. So hold on, was now see that wasn't the same thing as January 6th, but of course they want to, of course they want to try and conflate things here. All right, let's keep moving. He is also a prolific social media poster. He once shared a video calling Pope Francis a diabolically disoriented clown. Well, yeah, you say stuff like that about the Pope, of course, he's going to try to get you up out of there. I'm not trying to say it's right, but of course, that's most likely the reason why, because he was criticizing the Pope very heavily, and now the Pope said, okay, you know what? You're fired. You're out of there. But as I close, I want to say this. I don't see what he said from what I've been able to read here briefly that was really incorrect. I will understand the Pope not wanting to be called the diabolically disoriented or disabled, whatever they said, clown. I can understand that point of view. But as far as wanting the church to be conservative, I don't see what's wrong with that. As far as wanting traditional leadership roles and whatnot for men and women in the church, I don't see anything wrong with that. Maybe you guys know more than I do. We'll talk about that a different time, I suppose, and I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what happened here with the bishop over in Tyler, Texas, Strickland, being basically ousted by Pope Francis? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys, I think, maybe know where I'm at. I think the Pope was personally offended by the bishop, calling him out directly, and also some of the things that he said about the church specifically, criticizing the church and some of their moves, and then criticizing the Pope directly, got him out of the way. But I don't really see what he said that was wrong. I understand why they ousted him, but at the same time, what I was reading didn't appear to be all that wrong or bad to me. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you liked what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Angel. Angel. Angel.